everybody, and welcome to another Facebook Live with Jeannie. I am Stamping with Jeannie, Jeannie Nielsen, the card lady, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today is Monday, March 31st. What that means is tomorrow is April 1st. I had somebody that always said rabbit. The first word that came out of their mouth on the beginning of every month was rabbit, and that was supposed to make it a good month. Well, we all know that there's no such thing as luck, and I have God on my side, so I'm going to be just fine. I have memorable blooms to share with you today, and I'm so excited about this class. It was totally, I have to say, inspired by my friend Judy Tuttle. She helped me with this. I cased a little bit, in meaning that I changed it up a little bit, but not much. For the most part, it is Judy's class. Hi, Lori. I hope you're enjoying Florida. We missed you in our team meeting yesterday, but I have lots of good stuff to share with you when you come back. So come back soon. Actually, I know she'll be back in time for a retreat, which is April 12th. Today is the last day to sign up for that. I will put the sign up on the page here just in case you live in the northern Massachusetts, southern New Hampshire area and want to come. Okay, so Memorable Blooms is the class that we are talking about today. And do I have it with me? Let's hope. You know what? I'm just realizing that I'm missing a bundle. Wait 1 second. Here I go. Hi, Rose. I'm so excited that you're here. Rose is in California and has to figure out what is Eastern Standard Time versus Pacific Standard Time or something like that. I wish you could attend too. We had so much fun when you came. I'm going to have another one for you when you come out next time. So just tell me your plans and I will plan it out. I promise. Okay, so today's class is all about memorable blooms. And boy, do I have a lot to share with you. And I thought I had the stamp set. I do. Of course I do. Let's flip down and I'm going to start talking. What that means is that I'm not going to see your comments, but I will respond to every single one. So I hope. Oh, she's in Atlanta. Oh, I'm excited you're going to be there too, Lori. And so is Anne. She can't wait. She made me promise that you could sit with her. Okay, I'm going to flip up so I can flip down and show you the Memorable Bloom stamp set, the dies, and the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cards we're going to create today. So up we go. And I have to do that so you cannot see my mess. Here's my glass mat. Oh, I did want to show you this. This is what I wanted to show you. I have this beautiful Kayla lily. Now, if you know me, you know that yellow is one of my favorite colors, especially for flowers. I also love green and blue. And there are certain greens and blues that I am just gaga over. But yellow is truly one of my favorite flowers. And when I had my birthday party a couple of weeks ago, they got me yellow tulips, which is absolutely, absolutely my favorite flower. But these yellow Kayla lilies, look at that, they even have a little reddish orange tinge to them. They're so pretty, they're so fresh, and they're brightening up my space. Okay, so now I'm going to go down a little bit closer. And we are going to show you Memorable Blooms. Boy, is this a great stamp set. There must be dogs outside because Mickey is barking up there. I apologize if you hear him. I don't think you can. I've heard other people say in the past, I apologize for my dogs barking and you never hear anything. But anyway, Memorable Blooms was a February online exclusive stamp set. It's got some great sentiments, but I love these flowers and I love the dies even more. So I'm going to show you the dies, and I'm going to show you a couple of tips that I've learned along the way. So it has this great hexagon die, which has a nice stitched border. Then it has this great die too, which does a cutout. Oh, now you might hear them because they're getting really loud. Sorry. We have a neighbor that has 2 pugs, and she was just walking them, and I think they spotted the dogs. Actually, they've been waiting there the whole time. This is the card that one of the cards that we're going to create today. And I'm just going to ignore the noise, so I hope you can too. There's a nice leafy green here. There are actually 3 dies, outline dies, and they cut out the leaves, the flowers and this big bunch of flowers. So we're going to do all of that today. It is a red rubber stamp set, which means you have to be a little bit more careful about how you place it on the block so that you can make sure that it's straight and that you don't get any of the edges or the halos that normally come with red rubber if you are too generous with your stamping. Oh my goodness. Normally Chris is home, but he's not here right now. So I'm going to show you this card in a minute because I want to start with, I think I'm going to start with this yellow card. Speaking of yellow, look at this beautiful, beautiful card. Now, once again, these cards were inspired by Judy Tuttle, and she shared with me, and I just love them. You've got to notice this Happy Easter. This yellow just totally inspired me to make an Easter card. Now, I have to show you, this Happy Easter is not a current set, and I really apologize for using that. Any of you that have been around for a while, remember this cute, adorable Welcome Easter set, and it has a great, great sentiment there. So that's the stamp set that I used for that one, and it'll be around for people to use in card class this week. Or I found another Happy Easter and a Happy Spring. Easter blessings. Storybook Friends will give you Easter greetings and Happy Spring. So they're a little bit smaller, but they're still so adorable. Let's get on with this card. What you'll notice is that I made this card on a basic white thick cardstock, and I'm going to change it up for this next card. And the next layer is vellum. And remember, the Daffodil Delight not only had the designer paper, it also had beautiful vellum. Well, I cut a piece of vellum to the size of this, and I wanted to really bring out the yellow of this, and it turns out that it didn't do such a great job. Because the white really made it beautiful. It looks so fresh, so clean, so pure, doesn't it? When you start cutting out your piece, this piece right here is 4 by 5 1/4, and you're going to die cut your hexagon first thing. And the reason you want to start by die cutting your hexagon out of this one is because then you have the leftover hexagon that you can use for this card, which is why we're starting with this one. So I'm changing it up a little bit. And what I decided to do instead was put it on some Lemon Lolly, because I love Lemon Lolly. I love that yellow color. Let me see. I think I have to go up a little higher. There we go. What do you think? Okay. When you're putting this vellum on, it doesn't matter where you put the glue because most of this is die cut. So I've already die cut my hexagon. I thought I did a better job evenly spacing it left and right, but apparently I didn't. But don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. So I'm going to just add some adhesive to here, and I'm going to put it, instead of on my basic white, which is right here, I'm going to put it on yellow, and let's see how different it looks. And then in class, I'm thinking I can even give you a choice. So boy, does that change the look of it, doesn't it? I could put Pool Party behind it, and then it would look primarily blue. I really wanted to bring out the yellow, which is why I'm trying the Lemon Lolly. But you'll notice too that I have these daisy-like flowers in the center, and over here, those daisy-like flowers are off to the side. So it's purely coincidental. Okay, let me get my green glue. This is my favorite adhesive. I love the liquid glue. I feel like you've got time to move things around. There is a right and a wrong side to the vellum, and I'm just going to add, I might have to get a different, well, so much for that. I'm going to have to do some surgery on that bottle. I always have straight pins around so that I can open up the glue, because I can still feel that there is such a thing as being out of glue. But that's not my problem this time. My problem this time was that I think the hole was clogged. I'm going to do it like that. I'm putting it in the corner because I know I'm going to be able to cover up. I can also do it like this. I don't want it too much to show. I'll go like that. What do you think? Good enough, right? I'm going to just attach this to my 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock that I scored at 5 1/2. And here we go. I'm just adding this just like this. And it should do a decent job, which it did. Okay, so next, I could pop this up if I wanted to. You know, I am going to pop this one up. I didn't pop this layer up, but I am going to pop this one up. Let's try it. Let's see how different we can make it look. So I'm going to put some dimensionals in the corners. I have still another plan to make it even more different, so wait and see. Oh, I just blew it. Hang on a second. I just realized something. That's not going to work unless I do the stamping first. So I have my silicone sheet over here. Let's put my paper right here and do the stamping first. So like I said, I've got Easter greetings from the Storybook Friends. I could do that there. I also have Happy Spring. For anybody that is not Christian, I have at least one Jewish team member actually even, that comes to my card class. So let's get the Memento out. I use Memento for all of my stamping today. And that's primarily because we're going to be coloring with the blends in just a second. Okay, Happy Spring, we're going to say. I know that she would be glad to send cards. Oh, well, I have a journaling marker, and actually that's in our new catalog. We're going to have some journaling markers again that are coming out, and I will fix that S because I don't want to turn it over because, well, what happened? I already put my dimensionals on, right? So, see, I'm getting ahead of myself, and that's what happens when you do it. No, sometimes I get lucky and it's fine. But anyway, we're going to just put this right here on the front, centered top, bottom, left and right. And voila. And it already looks so different from that one, doesn't it? Next thing I'm going to do is add some green glue to the back of my leaves. Now, when I get to that card with the pink outline, I have to tell you that I am going to use adhesive sheet. I am a huge fan of adhesive sheet when it's the perfect time for it. My leaves are actually a decent size that I feel like I will be fine just adding a little bit of glue here and there. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to try flipping this, and what I'm going to do is just go like this and just add it right there, just like that. Now it's not going to stick great because it's already up a layer, but that's okay because we raised it with the dimensionals. I didn't think about that, but that's okay. We've got the top, the bottom, and the sides stuck nicely. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is stamp my flower. So let's get our flower. This silicone sheet, you'll see, is perfect for adding glue into small spaces, just like I did. It's also, some people even use it for stamping. So you can also use it for that, a little bit of give when you're actually stamping with your photopolymer stamps. I'll just leave it there. Okay, so I've got my Memento. I'm going to use the small flower here. And let me stamp that. And then we're just going to color it with our Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, and Old Olive. Oh my goodness, these guys, I'm so sorry if you hear them. They're not normally this bad, except that Chris isn't here either to quiet them down. And this is the time when everybody, and I mean everybody, walks their dog, right? Okay, by the magic of television, because I am a magic genie that grants stamping wishes, I am going to die cut my flower. Ta-da! So that's what I did. This is the third outline die that I was talking about. Okay, we're going to color that very quickly. So all I'm going to do is use my Old Olive. This is the Old Olive Dark because I think the light is in another bucket, which you'll see in a minute. Just coloring the leaves, so you don't have to be, it doesn't take very long to color these. Seriously, it doesn't take long at all. And if you did want to have a light and dark, which sometimes I like to have, here, I'm going to color it with the light lolly this time. I colored it with the dark lolly before. I'm going to color the whole thing, and then I'm going to go back and just add some dark to the inside of my flowers. You know? Okay, I lied. Let's color it with the dark lolly. I think it looks too washed out. I want fresh looking yellow, not washed out yellow. So we're going to color it again. And then I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight instead to add the color in the center. There we go, much better. Looking at that color, this is almost the color of our new Darling Duckling ink, which is yellow and has a lot of green in it. Okay, I've got my Daffodil Delight dark marker, and all I'm going to do is go like that, just in the center. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. And if like I said, if I wanted to do some shading, I could actually just use my color lifter to do. If you look at these leaves, I'm going to just show you in 2 seconds as soon as I finish this. They actually showed you the coloring. So the veins are on the left or the right side of the leaf. And then I just used the color lifter on the plain side to just lift a little color off of there, because I kind of feel like maybe, I could have done it vice versa either. Whatever you want to do. Just have fun coloring. Don't make it a chore by any means. Okay, I'm going to put that right there. And I think I'm going to pop at least one side up with dimensionals. And what I'm going to do, I think, is this side, I'm going to pop up with dimensionals. And maybe I'll just put a little glue on this side, just like that, because I don't want to do another layer up. We will in a second, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So now, ta-da, look how different those two look, especially if the S is not filled in. I feel awful about that, but anyway, we're going to leave that alone for now, right? I'm going to try one more different thing. Instead of this beautiful white ribbon, and I do love this beautiful white ribbon, it is the woven 1/2 inch ribbon, and it's so pretty, and it ties beautifully. This Daffodil Delight ribbon hasn't gotten a lot of love from me at all. Mostly because 1/8 inch trim is just too tiny for me. And I suppose I could double it. I'm not going to, but I suppose I could if I wanted to, and maybe it would give it a little more, I don't know. I guess the word my mom would probably use in this case is oomph, right? It has a little bit of something to it, right? Okay, I've got my scissors here, and we're just going to trim that just like that, and I'm going to use my glue dots just to add it a little bit right here at the bottom, just like that. Okay, my glue dots are, oh my goodness, I used them 30 seconds ago before I started my live. You'd think that they would be on the table, right? Well, you would be very wrong. Hang on a second, let me get my adhesive pouch. I could do a dot of glue, but it certainly won't stick for a little bit. I have this adhesive pouch which has all this stuff in it. All the stuff. I even add a little Scotch tape in case you need that. So tear and tape, dimensionals, and here is my glue dots. So let me just add a glue dot. The easiest way to add a glue dot, bring your ribbon to your glue dots, take it off, and then stick it on. Okay, here's truth time now. You guys have to tell me, which one do you like better? Do you like the yellow or do you like the white? And yes, you're allowed to say I like both, because I think I do. So there we go. That's the first card. And look how easy that was. So all I did was die cut that hexagon out of my center. I stamped and die cut that. I die cut that, did some stamping the vellum. Simple, simple card. So you guys can easily do that too. Okay, so that's our first card. Let's get to card number 2. Don't you love it with the yellow? What I want to tell you is that with all of these cards, let's do this one next. This is my next card with Memorable Blooms. This is a boho blue base, and boo-hoo, boho blue is going. I'm so sad about that. I really, 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 really am. I love boho blue, especially if cloud cover doesn't turn into a color that they think it would. I'm thinking, okay, just leave us the boho blue then, okay? Just leave it alone, just keep it there. And if you figure it out, then you get rid of boho blue. But in the meantime, please let me keep my boho blue. Okay, I said enough. Okay, I have here so much that I want to share with you. Okay, so much. So I've got my 4 1/4 by 11 inch card base again. And then I have a 3 inch by 5 1/2 inch because it's going to go to the full length of the card. And because it's the full length of a card, that's why I do 4 1/4 by 11 inches. Because then, like this, you can see that there's a little bit over there. I can trim that off with my paper trimmer. So that's why it's best to do that. It's not as easy to do it if it's a 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. This one is nice and easy to do. Okay, so let me show you the things that I've learned from this card. So first of all, I did my die cutting. And I learned that the easiest way to do the die cutting is to add some adhesive sheet. Now, everybody else has full adhesive sheet on the back, but the reason this one doesn't is because I feel like I can show you guys and still be okay. So I added the adhesive sheet, and I will have to do a tiny bit of gluing, but I've got my silicone sheet here so I can do that. So that's the first thing. I've die cut my hexagon, but that's not really the first thing. This is the first thing. I die cut my hexagon, look at that, and then I'm like, oops, that doesn't really die cut my hexagon, that just makes an imprint. So I could have done that easily in some cardstock and then bumped it up or whatever. But if you really want to have this shape, you have to make sure that you leave yourself an edge and you actually die cut with both. Where did I put the stamp set? Well, right here, you're going to have to put one die inside the other, just like that, when you're die cutting. So that's important to know, okay? So use a Post-it tape or Post-it notes or the mint tape or whatever you want, and tape them together and die cut them at the same time. That's the first thing. Okay, so you have to leave yourself enough room so that you can die cut both. That's the next thing that I learned was the adhesive sheet. So let's see how that's going to work for us. So what I'm going to do is kind of pull this out. And the other thing, it's going to work pretty well pulling this out, I think. But if it does not, the third thing that I was going to say is you're going to want take your pick die brush. So, okay. So already I'm doing okay, taking this off. See how this is going to go. I'm thinking it's going to actually pull out a lot of my pieces at the same time. I'm not positive, but I'm hoping. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's another good reason to use your adhesive sheet, because it pulls out all those tiny little pieces too. Just like that. So 3 things. Adhesive sheet, leave yourself a border and cut both at the same time. And then if you've got little pieces left, like I do, you have your take your pick tool. And it has this, for this tool, let me think. I think it actually has, oh, it doesn't come out. So it has a pin tip, a poking tip, which is actually a little bit smaller than the poking tip that's part of the take your pick tool for normal. See, you can see how much finer it is. Okay, so let me just get these last little pieces out of the way. And yes, they have adhesive sheet on it, so yes, they're all sticking to me, but that's okay because look at how much time I saved just by using the adhesive sheet, right? Okay, ta-da. And then what I need also, now remember we die cut our hexagon out of this sheet. We're saving it, and then we're going to attach this one to it. So that's what we're going to do next. Let me get my take your pick tool out of the way. And not all of this had the adhesive sheet on it, so I'm going to just take my green glue right here and add it just a little bit to this border, just like this. And you make sure that if you're going to do that, you do it with the silicone mat underneath you, so that if any glue gets on the area, first of all, when it dries, you can just rub it right off. It's really cool. You can just rub it into a sliver and roll it right into the garbage can. That's the best part of it. Okay, there's one more little sticky there. Okay, now all I'm going to do is line this up as perfectly as I can. And voila. There we go. Isn't that great? Now, I'll tell you why I had to put these little dots here on this one. I had adhesive here, which I just kept rubbing away, and I was rubbing a spot raw. So just remember that you can always cover up any of your boo-boos with embellishments, or maybe more stamping or whatever. Now you see that there's a little bit of white around here. What I can do is I'm going to take my snips, which don't happen to be Stampin' Up, and I'm just going to kind of tuck them underneath the border there and just kind of trim that off. I'm not going to touch the pink being Flirty Flamingo, because I don't want to ruin it. Okay, so there we go. And the next thing I'm going to do is actually pop this up. So let me build this card here for you. And then I've got something else I've got to show you guys. Oh my goodness, there's so much to share today. Okay, here I have my piece. I'm going to put it like 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And once again, it looks like it's going to be too long, but I can trim that later. That's the whole idea, right? So I'm going to use my green glue. This is how I add my green glue. Some people are very systematic about it. They add it around the edges and they add it around the inside, and I'm not that patient. Okay, there we go. Isn't this just the prettiest pattern? And of course, I know what you're thinking. You're right, it is a pretty pattern, but it's pretty because it's on the boho blue. You're right. Okay, I've got my dimensionals here again. And what we're going to do is pop up my hexagon now. See, I didn't do a great job. Actually, that could have been where I trimmed. Who knows? But nobody sees the back, so don't worry about that. Don't kick yourself for not being even or whatever. So we're going to do this. We're going to add I'm only going to add about 7, maybe 6 dimensionals, one in the center. And don't forget, as long as the majority of them have their backing taking off, you're going to be fine. Okay, I'm going to put it straight up and down, and I am going to attach it right there. Perfect. Next, I have something to stamp. Now, what is that rectangular die cut from? Funny you should ask, I need to tell you. This is a new online exclusive set as well. This is a pre-order, so you guys have to put it on your wish list to get on May 5th, when you can order all the new stuff, the new annual catalog or the new stuff here. I believe, I don't think it's been out already, but actually put it in your search. If it doesn't come up for you as a customer, then you have to wait. And your next best idea would be to sign up with me on the Paper Crafting Genies team, and you could get this now. Okay, so I'm going to show you why you need this. This is part of a suite, and look at those dies. Aren't they the best? And the reason I like these dies is, doesn't it remind you of Spotlight on Nature, which had all the round dies? Well, now we have our rectangles. We have some rectangles back because the rectangles are gone. So textured notes, textured note dies, make sure it's on your wish list ASAP. I chose a long sentiment, and this sentiment is, you mean the world to me. And yes, I am reading that upside down, and I think that's what it says. We are going to stamp in Memento our sentiment. And I don't know about you, but if I'm going to stamp straight, yes, I am going to trust the block. I did put it on the block straight, but I am going to stand up for this one because, and you know what I decided also? I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit closer to the end because, beautiful, perfect, perfect. I am going to add my little bow, and I'll have room for my bow right there. And then I can still add my gem like I did on this card. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just kind of put this down here close to the bottom. I'll put a dimensional on one side. Let's just add one dimensional. And then I think the rest we are just going to add some glue because it's going to lay nice and flat with the rest. Let's go like that. Ta-da. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is tie my string. The reason I'm using this is to call attention to the fact that this gold thread has been sold out for months and you can now get it again. So put that on your list as well. Hopefully you've got memorable blooms on your list as well when you finish. Okay, I'm going to do a double bow. I love this thread. Love this thread. I love the shine of it. We're going to go like this. And my fancy way of tying a bow. Hope for the best. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is cut my tails and cut this one like that. You know what? I have to trim that off because I left a little bit of frayed edge. But anyway, I'm just going to put that right there. And if you wanted to, I'm not a big fan of this, but if you wanted to, you actually could fray these things. And well, here I am. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Look at this. You can actually just play with them a tiny bit and you can loosen and fray those edges and kind of make them, isn't that fun? Not my style. You guys know how I work. I'm kind of a perfectionist, but I'm trying to let loose. So what do you think? Isn't that cute? So here we need our glue dots again. So good thing I got my glue dots. And I'm going to add my bow right here on the edge. And we've got our fun little fraying going on, right? I think this needs to be. See how I'm able to manipulate my bow? I wanted to tell you, if you have trouble with your bows staying, what you want to do is add a little dot of glue. Not much, just a little. More than's coming out though, but not much. Oh, for Pete's sake. Maybe I got the wrong thing. But anyway, I'm going to add just not that much glue. Not that much glue. But I'm adding just a little, it'll dry clear, so it'll be okay. But add a little bit of glue to keep your bow intact, okay? Okay. If I wanted to stamp the inside, which I do, I'm going to use this flower again. And I'm going to stamp it with Memento. And I'm going to try and bring out some of the colors from the inside. So let's do it. We're going to do it just in the corner. I could say anything. I like to leave my sentiments alone on the inside because I want to have room to write. And who knows what I'm going to use it for. You can always go back and stamp it later if you want to. But I do like a little decoration. So what we're going to do is color with our Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to do the whole thing. Usually I do a little bit of blending, but for some reason I'm in a lazy state of mind the last couple of weeks. And all I'm going to do is not be picky about what it looks like. I'm just going to take a little bit of, like that, and add the color that way. I have my light Old Olive that I can color here. So if you've done a lot of the die cutting ahead of time and you've used the adhesive sheet, you see how fast my card actually went? It went really, really fast. So let's put this inside. And then I'll tell you that I decided to use the low profile dots to decorate this. These low profile dots are another, I don't know if they were in the mini catalog or online exclusive, but let me tell you, they're so beautiful. Look at this. They come in like a peachy pink or a gold. Let's add a couple to the front. You know, I am going to, just for the fun of it this time, I'm going to add some of the peachy pink and see if that matches. I don't know. It's a little bit more pink than peach, this Flirty Flamingo, but let's do it anyway. And look, it still has lots of shine. I could do a little one down there if I want to. I think I'm going to do, instead of a little one down there, since I did a pretty decent job of centering that, I'm going to do a big one on the boho blue up there. There we go. That looks really good too. So now you have to tell me, okay, do you like the frayed gold or the not frayed? Do you like the gold dots or do you like the pink, the peachy pink? Dot, 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 okay, voting time. Let me know. I think I like the pink. I think I like the pink. Okay. Did I show you these? Have you seen these? In case you're new to watching me, I found these envelopes on Amazon, and they are 6 1/4 by 4 1/2. They've got Velcro dots. What I do is put all my embellishments in here, and then I keep the cover of the one of the backings here so I can say, oh yes, these are the low profile dots, because you know how I get tongue tied when I do my stamping usually on my Facebook Live. Okay, we are on to our third card, and the third card is beautiful also. What I wanted to show you is all these cards. You can switch out all the designer papers. There's so many designer papers, so many designer papers. The Bloom Impressions that just left, you could be using those instead. Use something that kind of has a general same flower kind of feel. But look at this. This is the Delightful Floral Delight designer paper. Now we're going to use Unbounded Love. And let me show you that one. This is Unbounded Love. Beautiful, beautiful. I just love this paper. I'm so sad that it's going, but luckily I still have 4 full packs. So never fear, you're going to see a lot more cards from me yet in April using this beautiful, lovely paper. Let me get this out of the way and let's get to stamping, and I'll show you how easy this one is. Okay, so we are going to start. Let me bring my bucket in. Yeah, I do tend to make a mess when I'm stamping. Anybody that watches me stamp live, especially when Shirley comes tonight, she's going to say, yikes. She's going to look at this place and she's going to think that a hurricane went through. Usually it does. Okay, I have here all my supplies. Okay, we're going to start with Summer Splash. This card base is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and this is primarily how I make my cards. Not usually the tent cards like this. They call this a tent card or a hot dog or a hamburger card. I can't remember the difference, but there is supposedly something out there. Okay, so 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I scored at 4 1/4. Summer Splash, our new color that's here for another year. I've got my beautiful Unbounded Love designer paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4, so a standard size. And you could, boy, we could do that too. The only thing with doing that is that then I feel like I'd have to color my flowers green too. I actually was thinking about changing up the paper, but it really does the best. See, you've got your pink flowers and you've got your green leaves, right? Okay, there we go there. Okay, I have here a Pretty in Pink layer. This is 4 1/4 inches, 3 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So I cut a sheet in half right down the middle, and then I cut them in threes. So you can get 6 out of 1 sheet. Okay, so that's how many pieces, cards you can make. Then I have this basic white layer, 2 3/4 by 4 inches. Now that is also out of 1 sheet. Cut it at 4 inches and then cut another 1/2 inch band. And I saved that 1/2 inch strip for my little sentiment that's going to go down here. Okay, so you are saving that. So, and you get 8 out of 1 sheet. So what I'm going to do next is glue this on. No, I'm going to show you an option of something you could do first. Okay, so I've got my big flower here. Now you see here that I die cut it. Well, maybe you don't have a die cutting machine, or maybe you don't buy the dies for this stamp set, heaven forbid. See, it's a nice big stamp, so I bring my memento to my stamp rather than the other way around. You're more sure to have a halo if you bring your stamp to your ink, because without knowing it, you are going to rock it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do if you don't want to die cut your card. What I can do is color this. I can attach this right here, color it just like that, and add it like that. Just showing you an option. That's not what we're going to do though, because by the magic of television, I have already die cut my flower. Oh, I glued that on though, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, so we'll save that. Somebody else can use that to die cut. Okay, I have my other piece here. So you're going to need 2 pieces, 1 2 3/4 by 4 for your layering on your Pretty in Pink, and 1 to do your stamping. So I didn't do all of my coloring because you guys know how to color. You don't need me to show you, but I did want to show you a little bit what I did. So I have here Pretty in Pink, and I'm going to add that to my big flowers. There's not a whole lot left here. Almost looks like Flirty Flamingo, doesn't it? But it definitely says light Pretty in Pink. Whew. I'm looking at that saying, oh my goodness, did I really grab the wrong one? Because I think this is more pink than Flirty Flamingo. Okay, that's all the coloring there. And then what I will do is, I'm going to take my dark, oh, that's dark Flirty Flamingo. Oh, here it is, my dark Pretty in Pink. And I'm just going to do like I did before, just a blob, just like that. Isn't that so cool? So easy. I would use the dark on your buds that are in the corners too, because you know when a flower is closed, it tends to be darker. So that's where you're going to add your dark color. Okay, so now I have my Summer Splash blends, and we are going to take the blend that's light, and it's really hard to tell. Look at that. It's almost so impossible to tell, but I do know this is the light one. So we're going to do the light Summer Splash, and we're going to fill in the last of these leaves here. And then I'll just show you what I'm going to do. So all I'm doing is Summer Splash and Pretty in Pink. That's all you need to do your coloring. And this again is the same kind of leaf as I was talking about before, where it actually, oh, here's one more. See, now I'm not going to be coloring for an hour while you guys watch me, but you still get the idea. I'm going to take my dark, and I'm going to use the writing tip, the writing side, and I'm just going to go just down like that, and I'm actually going to color, see these outsides of these leaves that have, that's what I've chosen to do. You could do it the other way if you want, but see, I'm just going to follow the lines. And now I look like I am a coloring expert. Now, if I really, really, really wanted to add something to this, I could do Wink of Stella, but we're going to wait on that for a second. Okay, so let me add my white to my Pretty in Pink. And we're going to just go like that. Nice and even. And now you see what I can do because it's green glue. I can slide it around a little bit. That's what I'm talking about when I say it has a little bit of extra time. Not much. And usually if I count on the time, it doesn't work out for me. I'm going to pop up this layer. Just like this. Just like this. And see, I'm not even going to take those backs off because I don't need to, because my other pieces are holding it in place. So we're going to go just like that. And then I like that. But I do like how this is popped up too. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to pop up some more. You know, this is what they call the BAM factor, right? Don't you like that? The BAM. You know how when you, who was it that always talked about the cleaning? And I can't remember. I can picture him. I think he might have died recently. I can't remember. But anyway, he had BAM. There's your accent, your cleaning, the power. What this also does is it BAMs up your postage. Because I've popped this up and this layer up, you're going to want to make sure that you either use a non-machinable stamp or you double up your stamp so you have enough there. Okay, now we need to stamp our love and thanks. Remember I said that I kept my layer here? Let's see, I'm going to do it on this side. We are going to stamp love and thanks again. You could stamp happy birthday. You could stamp whatever you want. I think we do have a really nice, long, thin happy birthday. I can't remember. I just used that stamp set this week. I'll have to take it back out. Oh, Spring Corners might have. Is it Spring Corners that has a happy birthday? Let's see. You know what? Let's change it up. Spring Corners. Happy birthday. Okay, we're going to do this one. The Spring Corners stamp set. That was last week's Facebook Live, right? You remember that? I'm going to stamp happy birthday instead because I may not need all these love and thanks cards. Okay. I'm putting it on my stamp. You know what I like to do? I'm going to show you what I like to do. And I told you about this last week. If you put your stamp, how you want it to stamp on here, and then pick it up with your thing, it's going to be straight. Whereas it is very flexible, very pliable in the photopolymer, and you might have a curve to it more than you, I mean, sometimes you want a curve and sometimes you don't. And usually the curve comes when you don't. Okay, so let me stamp. I'm going to stand up for this. We're going to stamp happy birthday, just like this. Ta-da! And then let's just take our paper snips. I'm going to try not, this might not be completely dry, even if it is memento. We'll go like that. And I don't want it to smear. We'll go like that. Okay, then we're going to add our dimensionals. But because I've already put dimensionals on here, I think I'm only going to put dimensionals on this side. Just like that. And then once again, just like before, I'll add a little bit of glue. So this lies flush on top of what is already there. Just like that. What do you think? Or even, yeah, it's still even with this one. So perfect. Now we could add, well, you could definitely do the Pretty in Pink. If you're already out of Pretty in Pink, you could do the Summer Splash ribbon, which is also very nice. For this one, I think I decided I'm going to use this ribbon because I can, right? We can switch it up, right? For those that buy this as an online class, I'm going to put the host code in the comments. If you buy this as an online class, you'll get the Pretty in Pink ribbon. You can substitute your own white ribbon if you'd like, but I don't want to take a chance that you don't like white as much as I do. So make sure you like my video and share it. I love doing my videos, and I think I'm here again next week. Believe it or not, you know, I work a lot of Mondays. My nurse manager would love me to work many more Mondays and Thursdays, but only so much of me left. We'll go like this. I think I like the pink better, but I'm showing you options though, right? And oh, it needs some dots. Okay, on here, I have to show you what I used. I used the 2024 to 26 in color resin dots. And you know why I use them? Because it's my first time opening the package, for Pete's sake. You know what? Let's use the green ones this time. They don't have as much shine, but I wanted to show you other options if you wanted to. If you wanted to do other dots, oh, I guess I didn't put them here, but I was thinking you could, I must have left them on the table over there. There's also the in color gems, and there's also the party dots, which are pretty in pink. So you've got all kinds of options. I'm going to do the Summer Splash this time for something different. So let me take your pick tool. I'm going to move my gem there. I'll take a little one and put that there. And we can put another little one, maybe like right around there, because they like us to do things in threes, right? So right there. Sometimes if it's a small enough gem, I like to put the eye with it, but this one, it's kind of a big gem, even if it is small. So what do you think? Here you go again. This is time for a vote. Tell me what you like. Do you like the pretty in pink ribbon? Do you like the white ribbon? Do you like the pretty in pink gem dots, the resin dots, or do you like the green Summer Splash? So, I said I could change it up a little bit more. Let's just add some color with our, because you can never, ever, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like you can't ever have too much Wink of Stella. Am I right? Look at how pretty that is. Does that change your mind? Maybe this is your favorite card now because of the Wink of Stella. Beautiful, beautiful. I just love that. Oh, that reminds me, on this one, I didn't put gems. Okay, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to finish off that card and make it look better. This was our old journaling markers, our old memento. They were Project Life. And you know what? They are really fine tip. And there, my spring looks good. Okay, so you know what I was thinking about for this one? Instead, it's really hard to find a yellow gem. Now, I could certainly color a gem yellow, but my other favorite gem of the all times right now is the antique pearls. And look at how pretty those will look too. So we're going to use our antique pearls on this card just to finish this off. We'll put one there, put another little one over there. Oh, we got some real little ones. We could put another one right down there. See how easy it is to use the putty end? So I'm not the perfect person to do. Don't judge me by my placement by any means, because boy, I am not good at that. I just take my best guess and put them someplace. And I feel like if somebody's criticizing where you're putting your gems, that's pretty bad. But okay, so let me show you once more all three cards. We've got this one, the boho blue. We've got our beautiful yellow, and I did this one on Lemon Lolly instead of the white, and look at how much it changed that. It's just totally changed that. And our last card is this one that I just finished, and I added some Wink of Stella there besides. So all kinds of ideas. I'm going to flip up and say goodbye and thank you. Okay, let's see. I think I have to flip. There we go. Oh, Martha, you like the white and green. I think it's pretty too, especially with the Wink of Stella. Thank you guys for joining me. I had a great time today. You never know if Facebook is going to cooperate, but I had a really, really, really good time today, and I can't wait to show you more next week. Join me Monday at 5. Bye, guys.